Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Greetings.
Yay, we're here. This is Can I Just Say One Thing?
Podcast.
That's Demi.
I'm Demi. You're Jess.
I am Jess.
And we're here again.
And I'm really sad
I know. I already know why.
because we're done with the book.
We're done with our best friends.
I know. Well, hopefully they'll put out another book and
That would be rad.
I think they would.
That'd be really fun.
Follow up.
Mm-hmm.
More things we learned after writing a book. I don't know. Yeah, it was really good. But before we get into that, you had a little staycation.
Oh my god, no. I was a recluse this weekend.
Good. How was it?
It was incredible.
Aww.
In a word.
Yeah. Wait, where's this knitting project you're doing? This crocheting project?
Do you want to see it?
I do want to see it. Pause for a second.
Okay.
Okay, so Demi just told me don't get excited about her craft.
So, okay, let's talk about this weekend first. Excuse me. Okay, so this weekend, I have made commitments with friends and people and places and things, and I have not had a weekend where I just sit at home and do nothing since February.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, it is June.
Mm-hmm.
We're almost at the end of June.
Mm-hmm.
July is upon us next week.
Yeah. Once you said that too, I was like,
Me either.
same.
Because it's all been with you.
Yeah. Wait, so you needed a break from me?
No.
Wow, no, I get it. No. Even if you did, that would not offend me ever.
On Friday,
Yeah.
5 different groups of people texted Brett and I separately saying, come here, come here, come here, come here.
And you
Let's do
stuck
this.
to your
You want-"
guns.
And
Right?
it
Or
felt
did you?
Like shit. It felt, oh yes, I did. No, it felt like shit. I was just like, but I could, like, I'll stay home on Saturday and Sunday. Like, maybe I could go out on Friday. And, like, I was literally reasoning with myself. And I was like,
You said...
up. Shut the fuck up. Stay in your house. Leave the wallet alone.
Mm-hmm.
Just cool it.
Turn off your phone.
Also, I did a 24-hour fast on Friday. So I didn't eat anything from Thursday night till Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend. Do you want to know how I started eating again? Do you
How?
want to know what I...
Oh, wait, no, I do. Can I guess?
Mm-hmm.
Would I know what it is, though? Cafe Capriccio?
No, that's a good idea.
Was it home cooked?
No.
Okay.
You don't have to name the place, but what was the food?
Pizza.
Yes.
Okay.
I fast for 24 hours. My body is a temple, and then I eat
Eat
pizza.
pizza.
Like, I am trash, but it's fine.
No.
I don't care.
Your body's like, thank you,
you.
so much.
But truly, first of all, do your research. I enjoy doing this fast. I started off on last Tuesday. I did a 16-hour fast. And now on last Friday, I did a 24-hour fast. And I've been doing my research, and it says that you should be doing a 24-hour fast. It sounds like once a week. That seems like a bit much to me, so I'm going to do like twice a month and see how I feel. So next...
Not this week, but the following week.
Yes, before I go to Tahoe, I'm going to do another fast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But not work out.
And like
I don't combine the two. So
that's
like,
so dangerous.
Yeah,
I've been telling you about this as you've been talking about fast. My dad fasts every day, and he's gotten under 200 pounds.
Yep.
You know, but he also
he's tall.
my dad's he's 6'1.5", like whatever. Yeah. But he's also like on an all carnivore diet. So you know, yeah. And you want to do mostly vegetarian.
Yes.
Right.
Mostly plant based.
But put in some stuff in there when you
need
it.
I'm not claiming to be vegetarian by any means. Like last night, I had a steak.
You know who does mostly vegetarian is Michael J. Fox and his wife. They even have a cookbook about it. Ooh. And it's like they're not like not saying to eat meat. Most of their things. I don't know if they have a blog, but his wife probably. Yeah. There's like they have a whole cookbook that they developed and all that stuff, and you know, so it's interesting to check out for sure.
Hold on, I'm just texting.
I, on the other hand, ate all the things.
What'd you do this weekend?
What did I do on Friday? What did I do on Friday? I have the worst memory.
You went to Sackyard.
Oh, that's right. Duh. Oh my gosh. Hi. Sorry, Casey. Yeah,
vacation.
that's right. I was when you were. Our friend Casey just turned 25. 25.
Happy birthday,
Casey. And so we met her at Sackyard.
Did you text her?
I don't know.
When was her birthday? It was
Thursday. Cool.
I'm a good friend. Trash friend, I'm sorry.
It's totally fine. Don't worry.
Forgive me.
She will. She totally will. We were actually talking about you on Saturday.
Uh-oh.
No, like good things.
Oh.
How like I was telling Casey that me and you are so excited that we've gotten so much closer with Casey.
You told her
Of course,
that?
and she's like, I think the same thing.
Oh, cute.
We were all drunk, but like also it was. I say what I mean when
So it
I'm
means
drunk.
more.
I say what I mean when I'm drunk.
Mhm.
Almost always.
Mhm.
I'm like too honest when I'm drunk. Yeah. So flashbacks.
I'm like, what else has she told me?
I'll fill you in on other things later. Nothing horrible. No, nothing like it needs to pause.
You're hovering over pause for
Yeah.
tea to be spilled.
Nothing like too crazy at all. So yeah, so we went to Sackyard, and then Saturday was drinking from 2 until 1 in the morning.
That's your fault. I don't feel bad for you.
I wasn't really that hungover, so I was fine. I had the best time. It was so much fun. We got my sister and her husband to come out,
Love it.
and we
Oh,
just
when
it was
Jen and
just
Bo are there, it's just
it's hilarious.
peachy.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like a good group of people,
And
and they're cute. They're irritatingly cute. Love you guys so much, but also, can you chill out
Cool
on your
down.
cuteness? Yeah. Like, stop.
No.
No, don't stop.
They are a dreamy little couple.
I know, that's true. With a sweet child.
Ugh.
So yeah, so it was just really fun. It was a lot of fun. Sunday, Shiloh and I did absolutely nothing. We postmated.
Oh,
We stayed home. We just
What'd
watched
you
a crap
Postmate?
ton of movies. I don't know.
What'd you get?
What'd
What did
you
you
get?
have delivered to your house from a service?
You know, it was actually DoorDash.
Okay,
So,
what'd
would
you
you
DoorDash?
DoorDash? That's easier. Chinese food.
Oh,
Yeah,
my God.
yeah, yeah. There's nothing better than like drinking the night before. I mean, is not having a hangover is way better, but I really only had a headache, which was great. And it went away after like a couple hours.
Love it.
Shiloh, on the other hand, was like hurting, but you know,
Shy.
shy. And yeah, so it was good. It was fun. It was fun. I watched that movie with she's on Jane the Virgin, but I've never watched that show.
Oh, that movie on
Rodriguez.
Netflix?
Yes,
Gina Rodriguez.
Gina Rodriguez, Brittany Snow, this
I
one
love Brittany Snow.
other gorgeous woman. I've never seen her before. I want to find out her name.
Debaco?
Yes, she's
Mhm,
gorgeous. And she's also hilarious.
Really?
So it's just
Was that the Lizzo movie?
yes, that's the Lizzo movie. They have this
Yeah.
whole Lizzo
Yes.
scene, and it just spoke to
Was it
my soul.
perfect?
It was perfect. It was cute. It was such a
Nice.
cute, fun. Like I watched it with Shiloh, and I should have watched
Did
it with
you love it?
girlfriends.
Yeah. Was he
you
obsessed?
loved it so much. But yeah, I want to find out her name. I'll have to, yeah. But yeah. So that was my weekend. What'd you do on Sunday? I don't even know.
On Sunday, nothing. No,
Ooh.
we barricaded ourselves in and we
Good.
didn't leave until 3:30, and we only left to go to the grocery store.
Oh my gosh, are you
I
serious?
I walked 0.6 miles that day.
I absolutely love that
Mhm. No, I
so
did too.
much.
It was just great, and like we're gonna do it again this weekend, and like
Aw.
probably be more free. So I mean, Sackyard.
So
on
that we don't
Friday,
have to,
I'll
like,
see you there.
Make me so sad. Thanks so much.
Oh, so yeah.
DeWanda Wise is her name.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
to say
Okay.
DeWanda Wise. She's.
DeWanda.
I want to see. She's got to have it. I don't know any of her other things.
She's got a habit.
Is another movie I guess she was in.
Like, is it a drug one?
No, I don't know these other. I don't know these other things that she's
Maybe
in.
She'll start taking off more.
I hope so. She was really good. Anyway, sorry. So you're not planning anything this weekend?
No. Yeah, we usually have Tatum, and we don't this weekend, and so don't know. No plans.
Are you taking Friday off?
No.
You don't because oh no, not this Friday. I was thinking the
Next
following Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
Well, next week. Oh, we're gonna have to figure out. We have to record this next Sunday because Ben and Brian are in town.
Yay! Do I finally get to meet them?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hopefully going to work 6. I'm gonna cut all this. It's not important. at
Yeah,
all.
but I want to know.
Yeah, I'm gonna work 6 hours on Monday and Tuesday
Mhm.
and get off at 1 so that I can go. I mean, I'm hoping that they can come down one
Yeah.
of the days.
Who are they staying with? The parents?
But anyway, let me tell you about my knitting. Okay.
Yes. Okay, let's go back to that.
So all weekend, this started Thursday, I think, last week. I just got this crazy idea. I was like, I want to knit, and I've been wanting to for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then my best friend had a baby, and I want to knit that baby a blanket. And that baby's getting a love blanket.
Yes.
And so I got all my stuff from Amazon, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I've started knitting, and I knitted all weekend. It was supposed to be 30 supposed to be 30 inches long.
Okay.
Was 18 inches long. It's literally like the most pointless like rectangle of yarn I've ever knitted, and then I missed. So I knitted this whole thing, and it was like pretty fat. I would say I got like 8 rows in by however long, and I missed like at the end of the blanket. I missed like 4 patches.
Oh no!
So it was starting to be shaped like a triangle. So at work today, the girl who's taught me how to do this, my coworker, she knit it. She's been knitting since 8th grade.
Oh my god, that's the cutest thing I've ever heard.
I know. And so
knitting or crocheting or both?
Sorry, I'm crocheting. I keep saying knitting, but it's crocheting.
But does she do both or just do crochet? Okay, interesting.
So I was like, look how much progress I've made. And she's like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. And then I hand it to her, and she's like, oh, you missed some right here. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I thought that looked weird, blah, blah. And then another coworker is like, what is that? And I'm like, well, it's going to be a blanket. And they're like, that's a really small blanket. And I'm like, okay, I think I've been in denial all weekend because, like, in the light of day, that is a really small freaking blanket. I was like, this is
your friend, like,
holder.
your coworker's, like, trying to be super nice, like, this is so great.
I'm like, should I take it apart? And they're like, yes.
They admitted it. Oh my god, I didn't even get to see the before.
Oh, it's at work because we had to cut it because there was like, I don't know. But anyway.
So you started from scratch.
Started from scratch today.
Oh, it already looks a lot better.
Yeah. So
I mean, just from that little one.
It's like it's going to be a real blanket.
Like it will last her till toddlerhood for sure. That's
right. My grandma made me a blanket when I was a baby and I still have it.
No, I mean like lengthwise.
Oh, like yeah.
Now that it's longer, she'll be able to, like, that would even fit Charlie's leg, like, little body. Yeah. So, yay.
I would say I worked on it for probably, like, 5 hours this weekend. And
that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
well, if I compiled all the time, I would say longer.
Yeah.
It's just so relaxing.
Good.
It is so
Yeah, that's how I feel about cross-stitching.
Brett took a nap on Saturday, and I snuck away, and I was like, I don't want to take a nap. And I just sat.
I am rested.
I was so rested.
I did nothing this weekend. I was
all I can think about is knitting or crocheting, whatever.
I love it.
And so I went and
yarn and things.
Yarn and balls of yarn. I don't know. So I'm sitting in my chair, and for some reason I'm like, oh, I'm gonna turn on Dateline on Hulu.
Oh my god, this sounds amazing.
No, it gets better.
Oh my god, yay! So it's not even amazing yet.
I was gonna turn it on the TV, and I was like, I don't want the TV on.
You're such a grandma.
I turned it on my phone. Because
it's a smaller device, so I don't have
fucking white privilege I am. I didn't want to turn on the TV because I didn't want to face the TV. I wanted to face the window in my chair. Do you want to quit the podcast with me now? Like, don't punch me in the mouth.
That is hilarious, though.
I just realized too that's why I did that. Like, I wasn't even sure at the time. I was just like, well, this makes sense.
This is the action. This is the course I'm taking.
This is a normal thing for people to do on a regular basis, and it's not because I did it 3 times this week.
Oh my god!
I could only watch it on my phone.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Well, also, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but something on a smaller screen seems a little less scary.
It wasn't even. Oh, you know what? These stories are wild, and this one pissed me off. One of them that it took me to. I had to break it up into 2. Mm-hmm. One of the stories was about this guy who killed his wife.
Asshole.
obviously. And then he had like a mistress on the side, but the whole story was about this guy
Mm-hmm.
and how evil he was. He was a doctor and a lawyer, and turns out he forged all of the paperwork, so he wasn't actually those things.
What a fuckhead.
No, it gets so much worse.
Ooh.
He like raped other patients that finally came forward when he finally went to trial, and the mistress didn't I maybe the mistress was involved a little bit. Maybe she was like along for the ride of like, yeah, I knew he was gonna kill her, but I didn't do anything about it. The title of the episode is The Perfect Nanny, when it had nothing to do with her.
That's ridiculous.
It was so stupid. I was like,
also, make it about the fucker that did all
doctor.
these. Yeah.
Fake doctor. It was not about her at all, and she's a sociopath. She is out of her mind. They interviewed
They both
her.
are horrible.
I mean, he's the worst of the worst.
Of course, obviously.
They're like the worst together. And they like thrive in each other's craziness.
Bonnie and Clyde type shit.
Oh my god. It was toxic, and I hated it. And I was especially mad that Dateline would be so obtuse as to put The Perfect Nanny when it had nothing to do with her.
That really makes me mad.
Me too.
Because we get into this in the book.
Yes.
When
wow, what a segue.
That was awesome though, because we talk about, I mean, we'll get there, but it's just...
Is it that... Do you care that I'm knitting? Because I just...
As long as you can hold a conversation, I don't give a fuck. Again! Do you want to face the window? How they talk about how toxic the verbiage is around crime with women and stuff. How it's like crimes against... One never like talks about the... Ooh, you got so much stuff. Ooh, you have highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wanted to permanently remember this shit.
Yep. Good stuff. So we start with Stay Out of the Forest, chapter 8.
Oh.
What happens?
Where am I? Who am I?
What am I? Existential crisis. What?
Nothing.
Wait, chapter 7. Chapter 7.
Yeah,
Just kidding. Just kidding. Can't remember what happens in chapter 7 though, because I read it like 2 weeks ago, because I went too far. Buy your own shit.
Yes, ma'am.
Buy your own freaking shit.
Okay, so Georgia demonstrates the zen in the art of being a crazy ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so basically what she's covering here, hold on. Is that my family?
Mm-hmm.
Tatum?
I hope it is. Knew it.
Okay, so...
Buy your own shit, bitch.
She is Georgia, and she is demonstrating the zen art of being a crazy ex-girlfriend. Been there. Have you been?
No.
No?
No.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Really good.
I haven't had that many boyfriends, Demi. I've had
I've had 2.
Well, I've had the one in high school that doesn't really count.
Why?
Because it was a month.
You're right.
Yeah. And that's the one that cheated on me. That's why it lasted enough.
Okay, yes.
And then I had the other one from high school, but we broke up when I was in college. And I just was over him.
I was just so obsessed with the fairy tale. I was very sold on...
You get married, you have kids.
Yeah, like, oh my god, he's the love of your life, and this is a normal thing that happens to people in high school, like, all the time.
Yeah.
And
you know what's... I'm laughing because, like...
No, please laugh. It's
because it's crazy, but then I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wait, no, I totally thought that with my boyfriend from high school. Like, for sure.
Girls
like, oh my god, I'm going to be the one that has a high school sweetheart.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, I was the chosen one to have a high school sweetheart because we were perfect together. We've been together for 2 years. We were in love.
That's literally how long we were together, 2 years.
Yeah.
Like 2.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
And we broke up twice in between then. I was like, and we're still meant to be.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. I don't know about, like, I like how she goes into, how she talks about it's, like, literal physical pain.
Mm-hmm.
Very real. But then she's talking about the guy she dumped. The guy that she dumped was Chris, who I mentioned in Send Him Back. We'd met in rehab. He had basked for a year and a half in all the boyfriend-girlfriend goodness that I had always fantasized about, which is exactly that. When you're teens and you're hormonal.
Oh my god, it's so much fun.
And you're watching all the rom-coms and you're like, this is us. We are perfect. And then it's not anymore.
Yep.
And you don't have the tools or like the capacity to think like, this is my next logical step. Obviously, we were not going to stay together.
Of course, yeah.
So,
in hindsight, you know how ridiculous it was that you were thinking that, but it is fun in the moment, for sure. Yeah. We've all been there. A lot of us have been there, I guess.
So then she says she decided to create her breakup model in which I act the way that I wished the guys who had broke my heart had. And I love that. That is so profound and goes so much farther than just relationships. With like sexual relationships. It's that should be applied to everybody at all times.
Right.
And I really appreciated her like thinking that way, and that's such a good thing to like put out to all of us, because for me, like, I feel generally the same way. Maybe I don't act on it sometimes, but it's good to just keep that in mind.
What did she even say?
To sum it up even more bluntly, don't be a dick when you break up with someone.
That's like the simplest but most beautiful way to phrase it, you know, like yeah, obviously. And right before that she says, leave it in the condition that you found it. Like, just try not to fuck with somebody, you know, like, don't
that's why it's
break
so
their heart.
Hard for me, like, to understand compulsive cheaters and liars and abusers and things like that. It's like, how do you look at someone and do that to them?
Right.
Oh my God, Big Little Lies. Perfect example.
Yes.
Did you watch last night?
Of course I did.
Oh my God. Okay, let's bring it in, because I'm ready.
It is one of the best shows. It's one of the best shows ever.
Yeah, God, I know that you watched it because we texted about it. I'm sorry. And
it's okay.
Benny.
Yeah.
Okay. Reese Witherspoon and Adam Scott's relationship is literally giving me life.
It is. Adam Scott needs to win all the awards. All of them. Everybody's a great actor in that. Oh my God.
He's making me feel every feeling. I feel like I cheated on him. I feel guilt.
That's so true. So the episode before last week, when we were talking about that.
Oh my God, I swear.
Ooh,
when he
was shaking.
When he was there behind Reese.
Yes, and
like,
overheard what's going on.
Oh, I was not breathing. I was holding breath. I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God, I had chills thinking of that situation, because you are Reese with
and
her.
What does he say? I'm gonna go get my hearing checked or something. Yes. I was like, oh God.
He's like, oh, you must have misheard. And then he grabs his keys and says, I'm gonna go get my hearing checked. Oh my God. Oh my God. And oh my God, when they play the song that he sang to her at the end of the year performance, at the end of that episode, did you catch that?
No.
Yes.
Whoa.
The Wonder of You is the song that he performed.
I didn't remember that.
And that was the song that they played at the end of not most recent, episode number 2.
What? I did not know that. I mean, I noticed the song, but I didn't realize that was the one.
The betrayal that was on his face was
I felt
so
everything.
Authentic.
Oh my God, it was next level
and raw and devastating and
oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just needed to get out like how incredible impactful that acting was.
This show really does impact, and we talked about it before the season came out, like ages ago, how this woman that I run with during like certain seasons, she says she works with battered women, and she uses to train people on like what women are going through. She uses Big Little Lies as a training tool. She says it's the most authentic show that shows what that represents
this Alex Skarsgård and Nicole.
Yes.
100%. When that came out 2 years ago and I was watching that, it would just
because you love him to start.
It would wreck me.
Mm-hmm.
Watching that betrayal and watching the abuse. It's so crazy because like in that show, there's no music.
Mm-mm.
There's music in between the scenes.
Great music too, like the fucking
music.
The soundtrack is amazing.
Soundtrack, every day.
It's so good.
A lie, not every day, but mostly.
But also that type of music all the time. You know. But yeah, you're right. Like when that intense stuff is
When
happening.
it's all happening, and I appreciate that they show everything.
Mm-hmm.
They show him throwing her across the
Mm-hmm.
room.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I want to see that. And the best thing too is that he's the one that suggests. Oh no. I guess Nicole technically starts off the conversation. Let's go back to therapy, but he seems very open to it.
Oh yeah. I do. I want to be better.
Idea.
Yeah.
I want to be better. I love you, Sparkles.
Yeah, I know.
It's just, how are you this person? How are you split like that? I will never understand. But okay, circling back to treating people the way that you want to be treated,
right.
like Georgia is saying.
Right.
Because I wanted to bring up Adam Scott and Reese Witherspoon in therapy together.
Yeah.
And the therapist is going for it.
Mm-hmm.
She no holding back with her. And I'm, oh my God, living for this therapist. She's not attacking, but like
being very blunt
with Reese, and is like, why do you think you did this? You betrayed him. Why did you betray him? And then she turns to Adam Scott and she's like, what did you do to make her get to this place? And he's like, what the fuck? Like, I got cheated on. I did nothing wrong. And she's like, not letting him off the hook. And she's like, just because you didn't physically cheat on someone, you made her feel like she could or had to go out.
Right.
And needed something from somebody else that you weren't providing, because you literally call yourself Steady Eddie. She threw it right back in his face. You cannot be complacent in a relationship. You have to constantly work and strive. And like, obviously, as viewers, and you're watching that show and you're seeing the love that he has for her, he adores her.
Right.
But
I think marriage is more complicated than that.
Of course.
You know? Yeah. Which is obviously what they're showing.
Oh my God. I just only want to talk about Big Little Lies right now.
I know. Oh. Adam fucking Scott.
Lighting it up. And
Laura Dern
is too.
I mean, no, I'm not... Everybody is doing great. They're doing the absolute best. Like, obviously, I love Laura Dern, of course. Although I want to shoot Laura Dern right now because she's being crazy. I don't want to shoot her. That's not true. But, like...
I appreciate her crazy.
No.
Yes.
Ew.
Absolutely.
No.
Yes, I do.
To her husband, maybe, but not to the school about all that other stuff. How she's treating those people that have to care about all those children, and she's constantly thinking.
I think she has a point.
But to that level,
7-year-olds. Okay, but you have to also think about what they went through last year, what she went through last year.
Oh, with the bullying.
Yeah, whatever. So I'm not a mom. I'm not saying as a mom, but like from her point as a mom, like and she's just kind of a rich bitch anyway.
Totally. And that's why I can't stand that part of her.
She is totally owning up to it too, because she's like, I came from nothing and I built myself, and my shit husband.
She needs to go off on him always, because he's a piece of shit. Yeah,
he's
stupid.
Such a douchebag.
Yeah.
But I liked him kind of, and then when he like threatened Shailene and Reese, I was just
that's right. I forgot about
that. Like,
I also haven't rewatched season 1, so like,
I watched it 4 times.
Okay. Love it.
I have a problem. It is okay.
You like good acting, and like
I like good acting, and I love Monterey. Like,
also,
what
yeah.
else do I need in life? That's it.
And it's also very strong female cast. Hello.
Shailene is doing nothing for me. I'm just gonna say it, and I'm gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Casey. Okay, this book that we're reading.
Yeah. Back to yes. Okay. You know what? Don't be a fucking dick if you break up with somebody.
Just don't.
And
don't cheat on them.
Don't cheat. But also, like, don't, if they break up with you, don't become vindictive. This is obviously easier said than done, of course. But it's just like, as hard as it is to let it go, and I haven't had that many breakups, obviously, you know, but it's just, I think because I just am not that type of person, so I can't really put myself in the shoes of like being this person that might want to take it out on somebody else. Yeah. I'm getting into that point of my life where if something happens, letting it go, you know?
Move on.
Yeah.
You can't.
Easier said than done again, but yeah.
Well, no,
just don't be a dick.
I don't think so. I don't think it is easier said than done. I mean, the fact that you recognize that in yourself, you're doing it.
Right.
So,
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing is, like, it's self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
What are you contributing? What are you putting out? And then analyzing it from that perspective and I think just stopping in the moment and recognizing what the situation actually is and looking at it from different angles other than a victim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Approach it from all angles.
Like, I really went off. I don't think this is what we're talking about because I was really talking about someone in particular.
Who? I wonder who. I don't know. Beep. That's the name. Okay, so
she talks about LA road rage a lot, which can't relate.
You can't relate to road rage?
LA road rage? No.
Growing up in San Diego, 100% can relate.
Really?
Oh!
No.
I'm like getting like really mad right now thinking about it. Yeah, just because. Okay, I will have to say this. I can't stand driving in Sacramento more than I can't stand driving in San Diego. I hate Sacramento drivers more than. They're truly the worst. They don't know how to fucking merge, okay?
Well, they don't know how to merge. They don't know how, like...
They don't know how to go the speed limit on the freeway.
No, and all stoplights are suggestions. I can't tell you how many times I've almost been hit when I have a green light and I go and somebody runs it literally 5 seconds after they've been red.
Right.
Which 5 seconds doesn't sound like a lot.
No, it sounds like a lot when it's red.
You get yellow.
Yeah.
So you clearly have a warning. So I've learned to pause.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The one thing I don't like about San Diego, though, is this just constantly like gridlocked, you know, which is why I could totally get the LA. Right. And like even having to go to LA like to fly out and stuff like that, it's horrible. That's one thing I am thankful for Sacramento, even though the drivers suck, is that I'm really not in traffic more than 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I hate commuting. I hate that I even have to be 10 minutes in traffic to get to work. It makes me so mad. That's how much I hate it. Wow. There's too much construction going on. There's a lot happening in this episode.
Rage.
PMSing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Chocolate. Okay, so she meets this guy that works on Melrose Avenue, right? Is it Melrose Avenue?
Yes. I hate this person so much.
Jet Rag.
Vintage spot.
That's where he works. The one that he works at or she works at?
He works there because she was on her lunch break and she was walking by and she saw a Vespa parked out front and she was admiring
That's right.
art or scenery or
Aiden.
Whatever.
As soon as I walked into Jet Rag, I saw Aiden. So he was just basically this fuckboy.
Truly a 90s fuckboy.
Yeah, and she kind of liked him for his Vespa, which do your thing, girl.
Yeah.
They dated.
Didn't she say he was like kind of boring when she finally got to know him?
Super boring.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And then a few months later, he dumps her, calls her, says, "Hey, so here's the thing: is I have a girlfriend."
That's right. And
Can't see you anymore. Bye.
Having a hard time juggling 2 people. Ugh. So that's gross. So basically, I mean, she was really into him for his Vespa, and she saves up and buys her own Vespa. And you know what?
Girl.
That is doing it.
That's living your life.
Yeah, it is.
Not relying on some fuckboy for a Vespa.
Yeah, seriously. And he basically gave her a helmet. It was called like a skull cap or something like that. Yeah. That if they got in an accident, it literally would have done nothing to save her life. It does show a picture of her on her Vespa.
So cute.
I love her vintage style.
Riding.
Yeah, she's so cute.
But then I feel like this kid can't.
I don't know.
Oh well, she talks about like dating, not learning. She talks about beginning to date Vince.
Oh, that's cute. Right. Is it in this section? I didn't even realize. So her husband Vince, who, according to literally everybody that knows them, they're like couple
the best
goals.
Human of all time.
Yeah. And he's just so amazing to her, and then also to everybody around him. And he's also on the podcast when they do live shows.
It's on page 232 when she's talking about him.
And she almost like didn't want to date him because she thought.
Yeah, and he was just nervous.
Because he wasn't like talking on their date, and that is the most awkward. Even with friends, sometimes it's the most awkward. Not with close friends, but like people that you, when there's like that silence, and you're like, And like, oh, how do you fill the void? And I feel like we've talked about this before, but it does. It's a little awkward when you can't, when you can't feel it for sure. Ooh.
Loud and aggressive.
That's okay. Should we move on? We still have a lot to talk about.
Karen's advice on how not to be 13 forever.
Oh.
Well, okay. Truly, I can't relate.
What part?
Like, how devastating it was to be 13. Like, I didn't have that hard of a time being 13.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened and I moved on.
Yeah.
But it seems like it was very traumatic for people. And, I don't know.
I just had like a few close friends at 13 years old.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like...
I definitely wanted to be popular.
Yeah, and I wasn't, for sure. Like, I had 4 friends that I was super close with, one in particular.
Yeah, no. Pathetic.
And I was, at 13 years old, I was, like, a straight A student, you know?
Oh, so lucky. So
that was
smart,
the only
so
time.
blessed.
So blessed. But yeah, it wasn't... Not that it was necessarily easy, because I lived in New Mexico, and my dad was going to school, you know, and...
Yeah.
So I had to do, stuff on my own and all that.
It's just so funny because, like, Karen's talking about how she would always ask people for money.
Oh, my God, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so she's like, she would go up to this chick named Daisy and be like, hey, can I borrow, like, 75 cents? And then finally, Daisy's like, no.
Like, fuck off, essentially.
Get away from me. Stop taking my money. And then she said the Daisy uprising was my entree into the realm of personality politics. I pretended to like Daisy and her plastic horse friends.
Oh, no.
So that I could have candy whenever I wanted, but they weren't stupid. In fact, most of them were the smartest girls in class. So then she goes into, like, she says... For girls, junior high is a daily dystopian nightmare of apocalyptic emotional warfare. Kill or be killed, gossip or be gossiped about. Figure out some way to be popular or prepare to have your body roasted on a spit on the side of the road. I guess to some extent I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I wanted to be popular so badly, but, like, didn't know how.
Right.
And just did not have the resources. Like, didn't ever shop at Hollister or Abercrombie.
Yeah.
My parents were like,
no.
You're gonna grow out of that, like, tomorrow, so absolutely not.
I was already entering my, like, emo goth phase.
Yeah.
I was trying to get there. It wasn't happening at the rate I wanted. I did have Jenko jeans at 13, though, so.
Really?
Sure did. Got them from Hot Topic.
Oh my God.
On sale.
I didn't even know those words. Our trends were, I guess the one stylish thing I did have was a baby blue, like, quarter zip windbreaker thing.
Cute.
And it had a front zip
yes,
pocket.
I know exactly what you're talking
why
about.
That was popular, but it was.
You know, kids
so
go through crazy
things.
things.
I thought I was cool. And then I also had baby fat? No.
Yes.
Fat Farms. Fat Farm shoes.
Yeah, baby fat. No, Fat Farms, yeah.
I did also have baby fat, but that was just...
Because you were a baby. Yeah. You were 13.
Yes. And...
that's cute.
Fat Farms. They were also baby blue. I don't even like blue.
I just had a memory.
Yes.
So, with the Jenko jeans, they were mainly black, but they had, like, accents of pink because I was very into pink and black.
Yes. Oh, duh. Checkered bands.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yes.
That was later on, though.
Yes.
Guess what I wore my black and lightly pink Jenko jeans with? What shirt I wore it with? You won't even get it.
Did it say Sweet Baby Angel?
No.
Picturing. What?
I had
Oh,
a pink shirt that matched the pink on the pants,
Good.
but it was of olive oil from the Popeye. I thought it was so cool.
You are so metal.
I thought it was so cool because it matched.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's so bad. What?
This me and my brother literally every fucking day.
That's true. That's so true.
So gross.
Can we also appreciate this picture of Karen this compilation of pictures of Karen
this
that we'll have to actually remember to post.
Yeah, this is these are spicy.
They are something. They're 80s.
Just,
she's doing the most.
She's thriving in some way. Or doing
in the most 80s way.
Oh, and then she goes and talks about preppy, which was so hilarious because like the Izod shirt or whatever, not the same, but you definitely like had to pretend to be rich.
Oh, for sure.
That's still very much a thing.
In 5th grade, it was really popular for the girls to have like, they were pretty much pajama bottoms, but they were like, I guess a little bit better, but they were fuzzy, and you'd wear it with, you'd like get a color. Usually, yeah, no.
Oh no.
You'd get a color, and usually they were like pink or like a baby pink fuzzy like pant, and you'd wear it with a white t-shirt. And so I had a brand from like Walmart or something like that, and a lot of the rich girls had stuff from, you know, that were like name brand stuff. I don't even remember limited from what. Probably definitely limited to, I'm sure. Yeah, for sure.
Jumpsuits.
Yeah, I never did that one though.
I never owned it.
I don't even think I owned a knockoff of that one. Because it was like the bell bottomy ones. These the ones that I wore in 5th grade were like big straight, like they're too big for you. They're supposed to be like too big for you.
Did you guys ever do jeans and then sweatpants over, but you like showed your butt a little bit of the jean?
I don't think I did.
What the hell was that?
Mm-hmm. That sounds horrible.
Ugly. It's so ugly.
I did wear, because Avril Lavigne, I did wear neckties and boy boxers and showed the boy boxers in 9th grade. Yeah. Hello. I was punk, okay?
Oh my god, neckties.
Yeah, neckties.
Wow.
And they were like from the thrift store, so they were ugly as hell.
It's called fashion.
Or I stole them from my dad. Can't quite remember.
Oh, no.
So they were super long. They weren't even like Avril Lavigne style, like cute black ties or whatever.
You just don't have a chance when you're that age.
No.
You don't have an identity, except for now. What are we feeding the 13-year-olds? Because why do they look 27?
Do you remember how Karen earlier in the book tells teens to fuck off?
Yes.
That's what I think.
Please fuck off. Truly, goodbye. Go to bed. You have a curfew.
Maybe you don't, though.
Why don't your parents care about you?
No, but they're also helicopter parents.
I will not buy my child Proactive until they've suffered enough. When you suffer like I've suffered, build some character. One time in high school, wow, this is a repressed memory. This girl that I don't even like, but I was friends with her at the time.
Like friends or like frenemies?
We would go back and forth.
Gotcha.
It was very strange.
Was that the one that was mad at you for hooking up with that guy?
No.
Okay.
No. Yes. Which one? Oh, no, I didn't do that.
No, I thought it was a hand job. We could know that. Oh, I thought that was what it was talking about. Or you. That's what it was. When it's like, I don't even do that. It was in that note where she's just like,
oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No, that was just a friend who was concerned for my well-being, overstepping her boundaries.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Wait, then what happened really quickly in that? We obviously have to edit this out. Yeah. Sidebar. Ooh, Steamy's talking now. Okay. What's happening?
Over it. Thank you so much for relating to me always.
Of course.
Okay.
How funny it would be like I made up all that stuff.
You go tell Shiloh I can't be friends with Timmy anymore.
She's a freak. Friendship canceled. Podcast canceled. Also, wouldn't that make me a freak for thinking of that stuff?
This is the best.
Not even drinking. Oh.
I'm not cutting any of that.
Oh my god.
You guys just have to hear us laugh about stuff you don't
even know about. That's so good. Okay, so she talks about the popular girls wanting to be preppy, wanting to do all that. And it carries on later into her life when she gets this really good paying job. They buy her a BMW.
Oh my god.
And she becomes this like BMW bitch, essentially.
Basically, she's like valet all the time, which is like, what is that life about?
Pissed off when people are going like
slow.
Less than,
fast, right?
yeah,
Just
literally
mad.
anything. Yeah, just
Just
perma mad. Yeah.
Perma mad. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So then she just really recognizes, like, okay, I'm really channeling, like, my 13-year-old bitch self. So
So when she loses that job?
yes.
Oh, no, she left a week
No,
after.
I think the show was a year later. That job ended abruptly.
Gotcha. I sold the B&W a week after I left the job. I didn't like the way it made me feel.
So cool.
Which is also, like, that's a lot of self-realization.
Totally.
More so than I have a lot of the time,
right.
you know?
It's just a cool moment.
Yeah.
So then they do their Q&A.
Buy your own shit. Final thoughts.
Do we want to do that or no?
We've all known people who...
because they're really in depth.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I don't know things about people.
No, I know nothing.
I'm not intuitive.
So then we're talking about staying out of the forest.
Now we're in chapter 8.
Yeah, welcome.
Mm-hmm.
So then we talk
Jess
about...
has been here since the beginning.
So then we talk about Georgia going camping with her family, and I seriously am loving these pictures of her dad in these short shorts and like.
So I haven't even. This is the first time I'm looking at them.
The pictures?
Because I listened to it. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Because I wasn't sure if I was going to get through it today.
One of the things I loved about this is she's talking about when her dad would take the 3 siblings out for this, summer camp trip that they always go on, and so one of the things they say is when he pulled up in his beat-up minivan, we knew not to even ask to go into a souvenir shop, but whatever he pulled up in, Asher, Leah, and I would sprint back to the curb and scream, "I'm in the front, no trade backs." And it's really funny because my brother and I had a thing when we were younger, and it was 1, 2, 3, I got it.
Oh, cute.
And so we would always go, like, we'd be flipping through, like, magazines, and we had a dog book that had every breed of dog with pictures.
I want to know every breed of dog.
I'll bring the book.
Thank you.
And so we were flipping through, and we'd always go, 1, 2, 3, I got it. 1, 2, 3, I got it. Like, just as fast as we could. And then we just started doing it.
To literally
all
everything.
The time.
Also for, like, shotgun, too? For, like, getting in the front seat?
We were too young for front seat, but my brother and I were really big on sitting behind our mom in the car. And was
she the driver or the passenger?
Driver.
Okay.
When she would pick us up from school, and it was like, who would get to sit behind mom, because it was really important to sit behind her.
Also, the driver is usually the most protected part of the car because they brace for themselves, so it's safer to sit on the driver's side of the car.
We did not care about that. We only wanted to be as close as possible.
Yeah.
Mom.
Mom, love me more than my brother.
And then my mom, it got so bad that my mom was like, well, whoever sits in the other seat, I can turn and look at them and say hi.
Mom.
You're pathetic.
I love that, though. That's so sweet. You loved your mommy so much. Still do.
Still.
Obviously.
Mom.
Obviously.
I
sit behind you, always. In my heart. In everyday situations.
Oh my God, look at how cute these pictures
It's super cute.
Like, Georgia is the cutest.
Oh my gosh, I love.
This one is like the ultimate camp.
Oh, for sure.
Picture with the 3 of them with their arms all around each other. Gosh, I love siblings. They're so adorable. And then when she gets her heart broken by asking for her dad's famous barbecue chicken recipe.
So her dad reads it in the audiobook. Yeah, her dad reads it out loud. Yeah,
Cutest.
Super, super cute. Camping. This whole camping chapter resonates a lot with me because that's George's life resonates a lot more with me. Obviously, not the drug addiction and all that stuff like that. Weird, right? Doesn't everybody have a drug addiction at 13?
Yes.
But like his family, obviously. Parents are dating, and then also this whole camping thing. That's literally what my family did because. Yeah. That's always what we did. That's what my family did, like my parents' family did with them growing up. So it just carried on. And now my sisters do that with their kids, So it's just something that's
special.
Really cute and sweet. And we've never lost anybody like Georgia's family lost her little brother.
Lost the brother, and the brother's like,
hours.
I'm back. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, he probably was so scared. I wonder if he would admit that now.
Oh, probably. But I'm like, why was the dad like, all right, let's go to bed?
I'm sure he's probably like strategizing, like, who do I have to?
Who do I call?
Yeah,
I can't leave these kids.
I also can't leave it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's just funny how Georgia is really young and that's happening, but is aware of Unsolved Mysteries and like thinking of those things, but it's like same.
Yeah.
That was me.
Absolutely.
All the time.
I always thought I was going to get murdered.
And then this other cute picture of Georgia camping. I just love them. They're so cute.
They're so cute.
And then Georgia talks about her dad, or when she is 13 or 14. I think she's 13, and she is out with friends and she tries LSD for the first time. And decides, like, I'm just going to sleep this off and not go home and not tell anybody where I am, which don't do that. Why do kids do that stuff? Call your parents. But anyway, she doesn't, and calls from a payphone the next day, and her mom is pissed off, and her dad, or then her brother confronts her.
Who her brother normally, like, is always in her corner, even though they kind of, like, love-hate each other, you know, just like siblings do.
Or just, they don't question.
Yeah, it's like,
behavior.
whatever,
It's like,
you know.
do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But
this one time. Yeah, and Asher, her brother, was just like, hey, Dad was crying and thought that you were dead. And that made her, like, wake up and realize. Also, she was 14 and doing LSD. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
Not that my dad has ever had to deal with me doing LSD, but I just have a vivid memory of my dad crying. And I think I've told you about it because I told him I hated him.
Oh.
Yeah. And so, like, I think about that, too. And I'm like, oh, God. Like, it's so hard to see. Yeah, of course not.
When your brain is fully developed and you can, like, think about that.
Yeah, and I definitely didn't even then, of course. Like, even in that moment, I didn't. I just wanted to say something hurtful.
You just wanted to be mean. But that's what I mean by being developed. It's like, now you wouldn't do that just to be mean. Yeah. So.
I don't know. Try me. No, just kidding.
Dad.
I love you so much. I'm so sorry.
And then we start, it's Karen's lessons from listeners and Canadian aldermen, which I don't know what an alderman is.
I don't know either, and I wanted to look it up.
Yep.
I'm going to look it up.
Okay, we found it.
Alderman, an elected member of a municipal council.
Okay.
A noble serving the
that
king.
Makes sense now.
Listeners and Canadian aldermen.
The Canadian, when she's talking about Paul Bernardo and Carla Hogan.
Right.
Okay,
right.
I really want to get right into that because she's talking about a advice columnist that she would read about when she was younger, and like I did too. I read Dear Abby and the horoscopes.
And this one's Eloise.
Yes. And so she reads those, and then I don't really know how the segue goes, but she just dives right into I guess where the segue comes from is her talking about My Favorite Murder podcast in the beginning, and how they weren't intentionally victim blaming, and outright saying like the victim was stupid, they should have done this differently. Right.
It's like the subtle things that they just didn't realize, and that's what I kind of worry about. Even when we talk, I'm just like, what did we say anything that was right? You know, and it's just you have to constantly you have to apologize when you slip up, and which is exactly what they do. They acknowledge it every single time they slip up. Yeah, which is what we'll do.
And it's brave, yeah. So it says when we were asked to listen to our own advice from the point of view of an assault survivor, we suddenly saw how our offhanded quote fixes like never get into a car with someone you just met were tinged with the invisible final clause, but since you did, you're to blame for whatever happens. We never thought of it that way, and the idea that anyone thought we did really sucked. And then that's when she starts talking about Paul Bernardo and his wife, Carla Homolka, the husband and wife killers, the Ken and Barbie killers, who are just absolutely disgusting. Like
some of the worst.
The worst of the worst. Like they kidnapped or they raped and killed Carla's own sister because Paul wanted her to. And it's just it's terrible and tragic. And so then Karen goes into the police finally held a press conference. Oof. The message the local constable had for the women of Toronto was surprisingly callous. He actually said out loud and for the record, quote, "Don't expect people to watch out for you if you happen to come back at 1 a.m. in the morning off the bus. It would be nice to think that you can go anywhere you like nowadays, but don't put yourself in a vulnerable position."
Yeah. So it's just very what's the
male
word?
privilege.
Yeah, but like even more so, it's just simplifying the situation. That's not what.
It's outright victim blaming.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's all it's saying is,
You shouldn't be out.
You should know as a woman that you don't have the right as a man to be out at night. And if something does happen to you, that is your fault. You shouldn't have done that to yourself.
Right. And
it's so alarming because even still, like, we know this. You and I know this. People that listen to My Favorite Murder know this. A lot of people are aware of that type of victim blaming and the verbiage to use.
Right.
And just to really figure out your thoughts. And like, she has a point when she says, like, I'm sure this police force is so frustrated and they're coming up with nothing and they're trying to find these people who are attacking these women and they must be working so hard. But get that point across. Say how frustrated you are. Don't say that women need a curfew.
Yeah, exactly, which is what they try to set, right?
Yep, they tried to.
And it's just like she goes in from there talking about some of the other stuff that's said about women. Do you remember where that is? I didn't highlight it, obviously.
Which one?
When she talks about like how a lot of words are wrapped around victim blaming or blaming women. Do you know what I'm talking about? When it says like women like abuse against women, crime is against women, or something like that.
Oh, that's a quote that I want to read at the very
end.
end.
Perfect. Okay.
But something that I have all these parts highlighted. I didn't even want them as notes because they
stand alone.
So perfectly.
Karen said it well.
So they're talking about Paul Bernardo still, and she said, had a woman using the pool in her own apartment. Hold on, I don't want to. Oh, so basically, Karen finds out about the woman who was swimming laps in her apartment's pool, and a man suddenly appeared and was literally walking back and forth with
as
her
she's swimming
these laps, and she was very alarmed and couldn't get out of the pool. And then families came into the pool at that exact time, and she was able to get away and go back.
Fortunately,
to the apartment. Yes. And she sketched his face
because she was an artist, and that's amazing that she had that talent.
The luck that she happened to be an artist, like, incredible.
And also that thank goodness, like, it could have ended so badly on so many levels. Anything could have gone wrong in that situation because of the fucking asshole.
Yes. And so, had a woman using the pool in her own apartment building put herself in a vulnerable position by swimming in the same spot a serial rapist somehow had access to? Were her expectations of safety unreasonable? Was she any more or less innocent than the Scarborough rapist victims because she wasn't on a bus at 1 a.m. in the morning? It's a trick. None of these questions matter, and this is the part that I highlighted. Focusing on why women have the gall to walk around in public asking for it all day long is something small minds do when finding a violent psychopath is proving difficult. So it's easier to go that way of, well, what were they doing out at 1 a.m.? Well, it's none of your business. I'm a person and the bus is running and I have a job to go to and come back from.
Or I was actually out doing something.
Or maybe I was out at a club and partying with my friends and I didn't want to drink and drive. It's whatever I want to do.
I shouldn't have to worry about being raped or murdered.
Yes.
Because I'm a person.
And then the Toronto bus people, I don't know, bus line, they said, okay, well, we're going to do these stops where you can let your driver know where you need to stop
to get closer
to your house to feel safe.
Right.
And that's basically saying, we will work harder to protect you because you deserve to be safe.
Exactly.
That's the bottom line. That's the same.
Yep.
I think that's what the police had in their hearts, but couldn't convey that.
Well, that's what she even, imagine if the alderman had just said that instead from the beginning, instead of saying, like, don't stay out at 1 in the morning.
It smells so good. Chicken.
Ooh, he's cooking.
And this part, I'm sorry, I'm like really.
Keep going.
No.
I don't have anything highlighted.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. So then. Oh, well, this was interesting.
The victim's right advocate they're talking about?
No, not yet.
Okay.
The how they're talking about, Karen says, I remember as a kid there was a story on the news about some old judge who decided to free an accused rapist because he decided the victim's clothing was too revealing. Yeah, so and that's really crazy to watch, and she points this out, especially as a kid, seeing that on the news and thinking, he's a judge, he knows best, women who wear revealing clothing are asking for it. Suddenly, the official discussion was not about a rapist crime, but what the victims did to deserve it. So that's really infuriating.
And that's just shown, though, like, even to this day, it's Brock Turner, for example. I know I shouldn't bring him up because then we're going to go off on a huge tangent. But, we
don't need to because we did it. But.
Yeah, but truly, countless situations. Recently, a 23-year-old was released after committing sexual crimes.
Yes. On a 11... Are you talking about the one on the dating profile?
It was... Let me get the fucking information.
The one that we talked about
BuzzFeed.
Last Friday?
Is that the one? I just saw it on BuzzFeed today.
Sent me?
I'm
talking
perhaps?
about a 22-year-old who met an 11-year-old who was lying about her age.
No, I don't know if it's that one, but yes, we did talk about Shiloh. I am... Sorry. That one that you did tell me about is insane, and I forgot. I need to find out who that... I don't know all the details on that one. This one is a former prep school student. Owen Labrie was released from jail for good behavior in his sexual assault case. The St. John's prep school student who was convicted of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old classmate has been released from jail months early. Labrie, now 23, was found guilty of several misdemeanor sexual assault charges. However, he was acquitted of all three most serious felony charges in a case that thrust the revered prep school into the national conversation about sexual assault on campuses. He's a white dude.
It's just, regardless of the color, when these things happen to women, all I hear is that women don't matter.
Of course. Yeah.
We don't care what you suffer through. We don't care that you're scared. We're not going to change anything on our end. And we're not going to make people suffer and pay for what their actions were. So instead of releasing prisoners from a sentence from years and years ago where they got, caught selling weed or caught
and it was nothing.
And it was nothing.
And now it's legal.
And we're
in California.
them in jail because it's a for-profit prison. We're just going to let rapists and those
any molester
and pedophiles go.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just so we're all on the same page that's exactly what is
happening. Yep.
And it's not fun to talk about, and it's uncomfortable.
But it's also accurate.
It's also not comfortable for me to feel less than every day in society.
Totally. Yep.
Okay. So this is a good segue into what my other quote was, is we need to turn the conversation toward identifying the behavior that leads to these attacks, figuring out how to identify these criminals faster, and making sure their jail terms accurately reflect the seriousness of their crimes. That's the one part that always really just...
Absolutely.
I cannot get. I don't understand. And I never will.
When people get probation... or you have to stay at home on house arrest.
You ruined a human.
Yeah.
You did a little bit less than murder.
Yeah.
You took away the person's life that they were on the path to be, and you...
threw a wrench in it, and you...
How did you say that word? Irrevocably?
We're
gonna edit that. I don't know.
But you
just take... You
fuck somebody up, yeah.
The person that they were, and now they are a shell of who they were. They don't know who they are, and you get to go to the freaking grocery store, and you get to go to the movies, and you get to drive a car,
exactly,
and you get to walk down the street and look at other people that are free. Oh my God, it just, ugh. Okay, but can I read this?
Yeah, absolutely, go for it.
Okay, I'm sorry, I won't shut up, but I'm sorry.
You're doing fine.
Thank you. Okay. This is Jackson Katz, PhD, from his TED Talk, Violence Against Women, It's a Men's Issue. We talk about how many women were raped last year, not about how many men raped women. We talk about how many girls in a school district were harassed last year, not about how many boys harassed girls. We talk about how many teenage girls got pregnant in the state of Vermont last year, rather than how many men and teenage boys got girls pregnant. So you can see how the use of the passive voice has a political effect. It shifts the focus off men and boys and onto girls and women. Even the term violence against women is problematic. It is a passive construction. There's no active agent in the sentence. It's a bad thing that happens to women. It's a bad thing that happens to women.
You got this, girl.
Can you finish
Yeah.
it?
It's a bad thing that happens to women, but when you look at the term violence against women, nobody is doing it to them. It just happens. Men aren't even a part of it. Yep.
Sorry.
No, don't be.
That really got me.
Yeah. And it's important that he said that, obviously. You know, like, it's somebody that's owning up on behalf of men, you know, and it's
I wish
like...
people would just stop pretending like everything is so much better.
Mm-hmm.
It's progress, it's not better.
Right, exactly. You have to constantly work at it, you know what I mean? And it's...
If you are a man and you're saying, but it's better, first of all,
fuck
wrong,
off,
and
yeah.
Second of all...
I'll tell you when it's better.
Join us. It has to be a constant conversation. And
it's just, it goes so deep on so many levels. It's like, we're privileged white women, you know, who are
100%.
Who absolutely have had people catcall us. We've had people be aggressive towards us. We can't account for people.
I've had friends that have been raped.
Exactly.
I've had friends that have been sexually assaulted.
Yep.
Just because it hasn't happened to me doesn't mean I'm not also affected.
100%.
I'm not saying that I suffer.
Of course you're not.
At all.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close.
Yeah.
But it's still something that I have to be aware of.
Yes.
And I have to pay attention every time I step out of my house.
Because unfortunately it could happen.
Inside my house.
Yeah, all the time. Actually, the problem is that it could happen to us at any moment because we are conditioned to be afraid of our lives.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep. This quote also reminded me of another TED Talk that I've listened to, and it's actually a quote in Beyonce's song "Flawless."
Ooh, Beyonce.
And it's Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. It's just a quote, but it's the quote from the song, and she says, "We teach girls to shrink themselves, to make themselves smaller. We say to girls, you can have ambition, but not too much." I can't. You can have ambition, but not too much. You should aim to be successful, but not too successful. Otherwise, you will threaten the man. Because I am female, I am expected to aspire to marriage. I am expected to make my life's choices, always keeping in mind that marriage is the most important. Now, marriage can be a source of joy and love and mutual support. But why do we teach to aspire marriage? Why do we teach girls to aspire to marriage, but we don't teach boys the same? We raise girls to see each other as competitors, not for jobs or for accomplishments, which I think can be a good thing, but for the attention of men. We teach girls that they cannot be sexual beings in the way that boys are. Feminist. The person who believes in the social, political, and economic equality of the sexes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very emotional.
You should be, you know.
It's just, you obviously know, but I feel so passionate about it, and I want this conversation to
keep going and not stop
and
ever.
Karen and
Joy. No. What are you hearing?
It's like a squeaky noise.
There's this?
No.
Oh.
But Karen and Georgia.
Excuse me, say her name correctly.
Georgia.
Georgia.
They just make it a constant conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
that's what we have to do.
And it makes it my normal.
Mm-hmm.
So if we keep talking about it and we spread it and everybody else is talking about it and we're just acknowledging our wrongs and learning from it and moving past it, like, why is it bad?
Right.
Why is it bad to be aware of these things?
It's not at all.
Like what I mean is, like, when people say it's not a problem anymore.
Or it's like, or a lot of the times it's like, this is like too much to talk about. Right, you know, it's like, well, let's not talk about this now. It's like, yeah, but we should.
It is a lot to talk about. That's why we need to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And why? everybody, every person, whoever you are, needs to talk about it. It needs to be a human issue.
Male, female,
gender non-specific.
gender. Yeah, I mean, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a lot for me.
Oh my God, that song that you sent me of the trans man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, one of the most powerful songs.
Truly beautiful.
So Demi sent me do you remember what his name is? Mm-hmm. She was born female, obviously transitioning to male, you know, and she is a artist, a singer. Sorry, let me say this. He is, yeah. Edit some of that shit out. That was horrible. I stumbled on everything. Anyway.
Erase Me by Quinn Christopherson. And it is a brilliant.
And it's
song.
Basically about how, because he started off female, mm-hmm. he was cultured to be, you know, a submissive woman. And when he transitions, he's gained all this privilege, and he's white,
privilege and power,
and he's doesn't know how to handle it. Yeah, doesn't know how to deal with it, doesn't like it. But it's such a beautiful song. Yes. His voice is mesmerizing. It gave me goosebumps.
I know. You should watch his Tiny Desk.
Yeah. Oh, I will.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We should post that. That's a great song.
It's a great song. Should we say fucking hooray?
Yeah.
The end. We're at the end of the book, the last little section.
Finishing up, and then we talk about this is Georgia and talking about how they met, how Karen and Georgia met,
mm-hmm.
and the one thing that stood out to me the most. And like, if you're listening to this and you know My Favorite Murder, like, I don't think we need to recap how they met. Like, it's a beautiful story, and mm-hmm. I'm so happy that they did meet, but, like, we don't need to go over, like, the dinner party and blah, 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 and, like, but one of my favorite
They met, they fell in love, they made a podcast. You're welcome.
Yes! Yeah. That's exactly right. So, Georgia is talking about, the podcast, and she quotes her grandma again, saying, "Bigger dummies than you. I've always had the question, why not me too?" So it was in that spirit that I asked Karen if she wanted to start a true crime comedy podcast. Why the hell not us too?
Yep.
Why not us too?
Why not us too? Yes. Queen. Yes. We are queens.
So then they talk about Michelle McNamara too.
Yes.
And her brilliant writing, and like,
yeah. It's good.
They're just so great. And I love that they ended it, stay sexy and don't get murdered.
Yes.
Elvis want a cookie.
Elvis want a cookie. Yep. All right. And we are done.
We're done.
Oh, good job, ladies.
Thanks.
Keep doing you.
Thanks, gals.
Thanks for the community you've created, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Abso-freaking-lutely. So should we talk about what we're doing next month?
Yes, please.
So there's 5 Wednesdays next month. So we are going to be doing The Sun and Her Flowers by Rupi Kaur. I never knew how to say her name. I don't know. But but I'll figure that out.
Short stories.
It's poetry. A lot of and short stories for sure.
Doing it differently.
Yeah, so she's known for Honey and Milk.
Mm-hmm.
Milk and Honey.
That's what you said.
Same. No, it's not. Milk and Honey? Okay, I already forgot.
Yes.
You know.
Whenever we laugh.
I know. It spikes. But this is her newer book collection, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so the 5 parts are wilting, falling, rooting, rising, blooming. So for the whole month of July, we'll be reading this. And so for next week, we'll be reading the section called Wilting. So, yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, and we'll have some other fun stuff in store. Yeah, so thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys. I'm so sorry. I got so emotional.
Don't be.
No, that was like really.
I'm sorry. We talked about a lot of deep shit.
I know.
Yeah.
It's true.
And again, like we've been saying this whole time, we have to talk about it.
We do.
It's incredibly important.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're keeping kind of on theme.
I think so.
With like empowering what women go through.
And if you have a favorite Milk and Honey, share that too.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I have so many.
Yeah.
The whole book.
I have like the whole book. Yeah. I've read like a couple of her poems. I haven't read extensively.
When I started reading, I was like screenshotting basically
yes, that's literally what you were doing. Yeah. So I pretty much read the whole book.
Yes. She's brilliant, and I'm really excited to like dig into it and like sink my teeth into it.
Yeah. And we can talk about like which ones our faves are, which I'm guessing they'll probably be all of them, but whatever.
All right. Well, have a great week, and email us. Follow us on Instagram.
Can it just say one thing?
Rate, subscribe. Tell your friends, please.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Slide in those DMs.
Yas.
Okay?
Love always.
Bye.